From RareGem Productions, this is Let's Get It Together. Class is back in session. It's the Money Classroom. From basics to building wealth, budgeting to a blessed legacy. It's all right here. Access, information, and opportunity. Well, the reason why we have the Money Classroom, that the Money Classroom was created, is so that we can get better at this, so that we can master our finances, so that we can make smart money moves. Back in the Money Classroom is Royce Sutton, Senior Vice President, Community and Economic Development Director with Fifth Third Bank. Welcome back, Royce. Help us make those right moves.
Now, that was a mouthful.
It was.
But I tell you what, we're here for good stuff, though. We're going to talk about some things that will help our listeners to think about what they're doing right now in preparation for next year. And we do that all the time. Why not begin to do that now when it comes to our money, our precious dollars, and think about how we can make some moves that will be beneficial to our whole financial footprint as we look at 2015 here in 2014. We're going to talk about a few things, about 7 different things that we think will be very helpful to our audience.
That's a great number. Give us a great list of 7 so that we're making smart money moves.
So let's look at number 1.
Yeah.
Last year, there were over 30 million people affected by identity theft, a crime that is growing by leaps and bounds. And I want our listeners to be protected. There are a number of things that you can do around this to protect yourself. But in particular, I want you to look at getting an ID theft protection plan. You can find those for as little as $6. You'll see people charging you hundreds of dollars, but they all do a lot of the same thing, and that is allow you to view your credit on a regular basis, and then someone is monitoring if there is any fraudulent or illegal activity that may be attempted in your name.
Somebody else to keep their eyes on things for us, 2 eyes on the field.
Yeah. And so by doing that, my emphasis is on your credit. Your credit is your financial footprint.
There you go.
And so we want to make sure, as a part of this whole identity theft process that we're going through, we get a copy of our credit report. Look at that. We're going to distinguish what things need some action, some things that are in good shape, but it gives us at least the framework to look at where we are financially. So you're going to protect your identity.
Okay.
You're going to get a copy of your credit report all in one. And then the next thing we're going to do, number 2, is pay yourself first.
Hey, now that's a good plan.
Now, are you paying yourself first, or are you paying Visa? Are you paying
else.
utility? Are you paying
Yes.
you're paying all these other things? Pay yourself first. What does that really mean?
It means not hoping that at the end that there's something left over for yourself.
Exactly. Especially in these days when we understand that life is expensive, and when we get to the latter years, we want to have something to rely on, or if there's a large purchase that we want to make, we want to have the ability to draw upon our resources. So by paying myself first, when I get paid, I want to look at my income and put aside a certain amount for my savings.
Okay.
I want to put money away. Does that mean I'm not tithing? No, I'm not saying that at all. But when you look at the obligations that you have, you need to make sure you're arranging those in such a way where it provides some long-term prosperity for yourself.
Now, what if I already have more? I'm not even in the place yet where I've got more expenses than I have income.
If you have more expenses, this is an opportune time to just kind of step back just a little bit and take a look at all of those. So I want to write down what those expenses are. There's nothing like paying out a bunch of bills, but I'm not really tracking what it is that I'm doing. And all I know is I have less or no money left over.
That's right.
So write those things down. It doesn't take much. And when you begin to see what you owe, it can be a very eye-opening experience. And then you can make a plan around how you can begin to reduce some of those expenses. There are some things that are set, fixed things that we have to pay.
Right.
But then there are things that we may have a little bit of flexibility, or we could pay less. And so we're going to segregate those out that allow us an opportunity to do that. And I want savings to be a part of, like it's an expense, include that in there as well.
Okay. What's the starting point, by the way, for savings? Like if I hadn't done it before and I don't know for sure, where would I begin with an amount or kind of a framework to get that started?
Well, when we were going through the financial crisis through 2007 through 2009, America had a negative savings rate. What we want to do is, if you're saving nothing now, maybe it starts with $10 per pay.
Okay.
That's your start. Maybe it's $25 per pay. You want to do something that's very reasonable and something that you can stick to so that ultimately you can see a goal that you're attempting to reach relative to your savings. That doesn't mean go back in and dip into that money.
Right.
It's tempting.
Yeah.
You see that money growing, but we don't want to do that. We want to start there. Now, for others, they can make a larger amount. They can set aside a larger amount for their savings. But I recommend you need about 10% of your dollars set aside in savings. 10%. So if you're not there, this is what you're going to work toward.
That's right. Love that. Great.